Come all the soldiers of Selous. We are looking for our enemies who fight against Rhodesia. We live in the bush. We sleep in the bush, living like homeless ones, looking for our enemies who wish to destroy Rhodesia.
Modern conventional warfare has made elite troops out of the highly mechanized units. But in bush warfare, the elite are the combat tracker units. I'm Dave Patterson, and I'm with Lieutenant Colonel Ron Reed Daly, commander of the Selous Scouts, just such a combat tracker unit in Rhodesia, and I'd like to ask him why there is a tremendous amount of secrecy attached to his unit. Why the mystique about the Selous Scouts?
Well, this was largely brought upon by ourselves. I personally do not go for publicity. I think an awful lot of units have spoilt themselves by attracting an aura of sort of supermen, which doesn't do the ordinary soldier any good. He starts to get a distorted opinion of his own abilities, which is bad. One must never underestimate oneself, but one certainly should never overestimate oneself, and this is something that is likely to happen with a lot of publicity. Also, and the more important aspect was that of our African soldiers. These chaps are beyond price to us. They are invaluable. The training they go through, the limited numbers that pass through, the volume that starts a course, all these sort of factors make this chap a very valuable part of the unit. We're very anxious that their faces are not known to the public, particularly the African public, because it is a fact that chaps have been taken out on what we call R&R, rest and recuperation, when they go back to their home areas. We have in fact lost 4 men like this, and this was the prime reason we avoided publicity.
One of the founder members of the Scouts is the officer commanding training troop. I asked him about discipline.
Discipline in any young soldier is tremendously important, because once a soldier has learned to accept the forced or the imposed discipline, it is very easy for him to practice self-discipline. I feel that if a man wants to join the army, he expects the discipline, and when he gets harsh discipline, he realizes that it is only for his own good, and he's far more able to accept this harsh discipline. He's confined, he's not allowed time to think from anything else but the army, and this has had a very significant bearing on our young recruits. I think possibly people who don't know the unit or don't know the workings of the unit think that the unit is unregimented, because eventually this young recruit will be taken into the bush environment, and his modus operandi will be totally divorced from the harsh discipline. This is why we put so much emphasis on this disciplinary phase, so that it can instill in his mind the aspects of discipline, which can very easily and will very readily be brought to bear if the circumstances require.
The unit is multiracial. It is entirely voluntary, they're all volunteers. To get into the unit, each man has to pass a pretty rigorous selection course. It's a very hard course. The percentage pass rate varies from 12% to 17%.